gonna fight the Ochu here. Which ultimately is a regular enemy, but in this context, at this point in the game, it really is more of a boss. It's a little bit stronger. There's over twice the amount of hit points as the last boss. Yeah, like there, he's immune to dark, so his poison attack is not gonna miss as often unless attacking Lulu, who actually has super high evasion at the start and hits the evasion on her path. So unlike previous Final Fantasy games where you have like a front row or a back row, you just have evasion. And so they made Lulu, who's the black mage, have high evasion to kind of act like she's in the back row, so to speak. So the reason I'm not just using overdrive right off the bat is because I use the Sonic Wings and get multiple attacks in a row. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but when it's a free attack, it's free damage. So I'm actually going to use it until I won't get that extra attack, and then I'm going to hit it with my overdrive. It's a little spamming, but it's the way. They built it into the game to do this on purpose. Eventually, it seems like it'll always do it, but eventually it won't slow him down just enough, or be a speedy attack just enough, so like that I won't get that extra attack. And go ahead and use Energy Blast, and he'll get 3 attacks, so it's very likely that Balfour actually might die. But that's okay, he'll come back next time and touch a save, whether or not it's safe or not. He gets blue and Ochu actually falls asleep, which heals him, which really sucks. He just healed 1,000 damage. So I'm actually going to physically attack him in order to wake him up. Or else he'll just keep healing, and that really sucks. So the cool thing about this is the Earthquake actually doesn't hit Balfour, simply because Balfour's flying. So Earthquake won't hit Balfour. It's simple. Even though he did heal for almost 2,000 damage, he still is slightly lower than the hit points he had before. Without using Balfour, this can actually be really tricky because he sits there and just poisons you, and it does things like Earthquake, which does quite a bit of damage. I'm hoping the Sonic Wings will actually charge my overdrive enough, so I can, yeah, it did. So I'll be able to use my overdrive one more time before he kills Balfour, because he'll likely just cast water again, and one more water will definitely defeat Balfour. I'm keeping very close attention on the turn order, because I definitely want to have a turn before I use my overdrive, like that. If I did the Sonic Wings there, I would have just completely wasted my overdrive. It's quite possible that he'll fall asleep again, but I don't think he will. I think he'll or he'll just fall asleep and be a pain in my ass. I actually believe he healed more than I actually did with the overdrive, so that really sucks. It's okay. That'll kill Balfour. Though Balfour did weaken him enough that the rest of the guys should be able to handle it just fine. If you did notice, I didn't level any of the characters, so it is a little bit more damaging. Or, I'm a little bit more at risk than I would normally be. So status effects does stay on, so if I use Titus or B-Ray, it's going to... He's still going to be poisoned. But I might switch to him anyway, because it does do more damage. And just use an antidote if I have one. So Lulu, of course, is going to be the one doing most of the damage here, because the Ochu is weak to Inspire, being a plant. So she's, of course, going to be and Kamari actually will do the least amount of damage, I believe. He's about even with Titus, so I'm going to use them to heal, or use an antidote or anything else if I need to. It's the last antidote I have. Looks like I have a remedy which will work as an antidote as well. If not, I'll probably... I mean, he's low enough that I'll just stick it out, and my guys should die. If not, Kamara just beat me. So an MP sphere is actually really cool because it doesn't just allow me to use like gain magic or something. It actually opens up an empty slot on the sphere grid
a summoner entered
in order
Guardians.
to gain
Very
magic
impressive.
where I normally wouldn't.
Sir, we should fight
gain
too.
it from.
We'll get our chance soon enough.
Young crusaders gather round. We'll beat sin into the ground.
So if you noticed, Waka got poisoned. So after you finish a battle, any status effect, other than death, it does not stay on your characters. They actually... Death actually won't either. You'll actually show up with 1 hit point. So I mean that it's either cool or not cool, depending on how you take it. I'm actually gonna run back real quick. I'm thinking of an item being somewhere that I want to check out. There are a few items in the woods, but nothing really too great. So as I go through here and just kind of end up fighting these random battles while I try to find this item, I guess I'll tell you a little bit about my day and a little bit about myself. So I'm actually a stay-at-home dad. I have 2 children, one 3-year-old boy and a 3-month-old girl. So my days are pretty eventful. Today was a little bit more eventful. We actually got out of the house, went to GameStop, and did a little grocery shopping, which is always super exciting when you have 2 children and trying to keep one in the cart and the other one not crying.
You're not too bad.
But overall, it wasn't
You
too
ain't
bad.
seen nothing yet.
Spent about 30 minutes just in the checkout line with a crying 3-month-old. So that's okay. Yeah, I was thinking there was a Albert Primer, but I'll take the Mana Spheres. That's actually not too bad of a... That's something you'll probably want to grab. If you're wanting to 100% this game by doing all of the extra battles, you definitely want to grab as many Mana Spheres or really any of the spheres that you can, or else you're going to really find yourself grinding in the end. And it's never... I mean, ultimately you're going to have to grind anyway, but it'll save you a tremendous amount of time in grinding if you find them throughout the game. So I really suggest you doing that.
Check this out.
I'm not sure if it's the being remade on the PS4, or if it's the... Sorry, let me get one real quick. Or if it's like the HD or something. There seems to be a slight lag. They've gotten the hang of it with the spiral cutter for Titus, but there definitely seems to be a little bit of lag for when I hit X and where the cursor actually determines where I'm at. Okay, what I was thinking was there an Albed primer. I've never noticed this actually glowing, but it's another Albed thing. It actually tells you something, which I don't remember off the top of my head what it actually says. Yeah, so I was wrong, but I got a chest. So it wasn't a complete waste of time. I'm going to do my best to grab all the Albed primers while I go through this. Worst case scenario, I will grab them all after I gain the airship. There's only one that's actually missable. They did their best when they did this remastered to make sure that there wasn't any really missable trophies. But unfortunately, one is still missable, and it's gaining all the Albed primers in one gameplay. And the reason it's missable is because there's one Albed primer that if you don't grab the first time you go through, you will basically lose out on getting it. But that's pretty much a considerable way through the game. I'm not
Anyone thirsty?
at all. But the reason I might miss them is because I don't necessarily have them all memorized 100%. I do know a great deal of where they're at. But worst case, I will definitely show you where the ones I miss are. That way, if you're having troubles at home, or you want to just collect them all while playing alongside me, then
these stone steps.
Feel free, and you'll know where they are.
Yep, Lord O'Holland trained here at his peak.
So there's actually a pretty considerable amount of boss fights in this game, and another one's coming right up.
A race, huh? Me?
Yuna, if you would.
Ready?
Hey!
Ah, huh? Hey!
Definitely gonna save here. And head up the stairs.
No!
Everyone, quick! Sin spawn!
Another one. This one's kind of a unique fight. It's the actual sin spawn is encased in the shell that will stop you from doing considerable amounts of damage. It'll block like a good 75% of physical damage. You can cast spells to it, which is weak against fire, which is ironic because Killick is basically the fire area, and basically everything in the area is weak against fire.
Its tentacles absorb any spells cast at its body.
Like she said, anytime you cast towards the thing, the tentacles actually will stop you from doing it. So the goal is to kill the tentacles off first, and then move on to the body. So the reason I can't see his hit points now is because Kimari actually has a item that allows me to see, it's a scan, it allows me to see the hit points and weaknesses of enemies. I don't overall need it. I pretty much know what the weakness is and how close they are to dying. So I killed the tentacle there. I'm actually going to go ahead and... Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sub Yuna. Use Valfor. This is more to kind of play safe rather than anything else. Valfor has all the basic magic tech, so I can sit here and just use fire on it instead of using physical attacks. Once I do a certain amount of damage, he will pop out of the shell, and then physical attacks will be a pretty good way to do damage. Though even when he pops out of the shell, magic still does the most damage.